Hi everyone, this is Shawn Jackson and I'm hanging out with Adriana and David Rose of The Endless in their studio, and we're here to discuss their latest album, Somniloquy. So, kids, what's the inspiration for this one?
It started, I think 3 years ago. We went to a exhibit at the Met in New York, a photography exhibit called The Perfect Medium, Photography and the Occult. And there were these just amazing photographs taken at the birth of photography, when people were starting to use photography to photograph spirits and what they thought were spirits, and the different ways that they would manipulate the medium to make people believe that they were seeing the other world. And also there were a lot of shots of mediums during that time, which I hadn't learned about before, who were doing a lot of work with ectoplasm. And I was just really, really intrigued by all of this, and especially I think how it ties into when you're grieving, how you'll be willing to believe anything about the afterlife, and yeah, I guess just deception, how far people are willing to take deception to make you feel spiritually calm.
Do you think this album is a response to your last album in some way?
Yeah, absolutely. I think this album picks up exactly where the last one left off, which was, for those of you who don't know, our last album is called The Republic of Heaven, and we had written it during a really difficult time in our lives where my mom had passed away from cancer, and I was just trying to figure out how to move forward after loss. And the character who finishes the album essentially gets to a point where she realizes that they're not to be living a life looking forward to something, but rather building your own Republic of Heaven on Earth. And that was a concept that came from Philip Pullman's, his Dark Materials books, which I had been reading at the time, and they really inspired me. And so this character, yes, starts this album essentially with, well, what do you do once you've decided that you're gonna make your heaven on earth and take responsibility for your happiness?
Yeah, because Republic of Heaven, I think, is going through the process, but this album tends to be asking some really tough questions afterward.
Yeah, because what happens to you when you start realizing that really your world is completely your choice?
Right.
And it's heavy, because you realize that everything that you've created or manifested in your life is because of choices that you've made.
Yeah, it's actually, a lot of the songs, I think, are some very severe ideas, and some very, like, even though there's a lot of, like, esoteric and invisibility in the songs to me, because they're ideas, there's some major realism that kind of, I think, hits you really hard. And you also, I think, spit in the face of some conventional ideas too, because you've sort of given up or retired the old way of thinking that I think was plaguing some of your thoughts in the last album.
Yes.
But now you're putting those to rest in this album.
Yes.
So.
Yeah. What happened? Yeah. Again, like kind of what happens when you retire. That's such a great word. How you think life is supposed to be, and then you just start living it.
Yeah, exactly. I think it's a sequel to the last album.
Yeah, I think you're right.